Welcome, I'm Karen Marsdale, and I'm on staff at the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance, and this is another episode of Member Spotlight, and it's thrilling to always have our members come on board and talk to us about what their businesses are doing, how they are growing, where their challenges are, and it's also very interesting to us because, as you, the audience know, we have such a variety of different types of members from all kinds of industry and business. So I'm thrilled today to have Irish Creek Excavating with us, and Dave and Sarah Phillips. David is the owner, Sarah is a project manager, and I think this is really interesting because she's following in Dad's footsteps.
They're good footsteps to follow in.
That's great. So I'm sure they are, or else you wouldn't have done it.
Right.
Really, and we were talking a little bit earlier about, sort of following in those footsteps. Dave, tell us a little bit about, is it Dave, do we say David or Dave?
Dave, that's fine.
So you, one thing is you have a family farm, and you're out in Center, did you say?
Center Township.
Center Township.
I was born and raised in Center Township. Wound up buying a farm next to the one I was raised on. And we lived there for 30 years, raised our kids there. We had a dairy farm there, and I worked construction while we had the farm there also.
Okay.
So it was a rundown farm. We built it back up to a, the kids got more into horses than they did dairy cows, so we got rid of the cattle. We got rid of the dairy herd in 93, I believe, and got more into horses and beef cattle, and now it's a riding stable, and my oldest daughter and son-in-law have that, and they farm that and do riding lessons, a lot of riding lessons, and get a lot of kids into horses.
That's very neat because I know that Berks County is growing in their equestrian, in that industry, and it certainly is something that's a great asset for us. As a community. I know Chester County has been, well known.
Chester County is very big into horses.
And very big into horses, but Berks County can do it and also do it a little bit more reasonably.
Yep.
So that's very cool. So now, were you a rider as well?
I was. I still am.
Okay.
We all of us were. Both my sisters and I. My oldest sister, as Dad said, took over the home farm, and the middle sister trains horses in Ohio professionally.
Wow, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So she's the only one that left home.
She's the only one that left home.
Yep.
Her and Sarah went to Ohio State.
Okay.
Laura never came home. Sarah did.
Yep.
That's okay. We go visit.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that concept. So okay, so you've got the family farm. You're sort of switching into a different model, if you will. But how about the excavating business? How did that come to be?
Well,
you worked in construction.
Yeah, I always worked construction on the side since I was 19, and but excavating was always my true love. Of all the, I did everything years ago: carpentry, block laying, concrete work, but I always came back to excavating, and went full-time excavating in '85 for another contractor. Because farming was tough. It was hard to make a living.
Sure, yeah, it is
and I worked with that contractor until 92, or 93, and I started this company in 93.
Wow. Now that's interesting that you found the excavating to be the thing that really you sort of fell in love with. Why was that? Was it
just the equipment? I think being around the equipment, and being raised on the farm with the tractors and everything, and I just was always drawn to the equipment.
Yep. Just lots of big toys.
Yep.
But you have to get it right too.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
So
it's a tough profession.
It is. So how wide a scope is your footprint in terms of where you'll go, and in terms of the work that you'll do?
I think most of that is determined by our customer base.
Okay.
We have a pretty solid customer base, and we go where they take us.
Okay.
We try to stay in Berks County and close surrounding areas, but we have traveled 50, 60, 70 miles for specific customers, and we'll continue to do that.
How many employees do you have?
Right now we're at 19, I believe.
Okay.
We're a pretty tight-knit community in our company, so we like to make sure our guys can go home every day. So
Yeah.
that's why we like to stay kind of closer in the Berks County area.
That's true. When you first said that, I didn't quite get that, but you're right, because if you're traveling, if you're on a job that's,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
multi-state,
traveling's tough.
Right.
it's got to be really tough.
Yep.
And we were talking a little earlier about the fact that the challenge that you have, which is not unlike, I don't care what the industry is. It can be banking, it can be construction, it can be healthcare, and one of the things that we're all finding is this whole pipeline and the shortage of workforce.
Qualified.
Qualified.
Yep.
Qualified.
It's hard to find employees right now.
Right.
Everybody's looking and everybody's struggling, and
Right.
We're all in that same boat. So
We're doing a little bit at the chamber, which after we're off camera, I'll tell you a little bit about what we're doing, and love to get you involved. But because construction, interestingly, is one of 3 major sectors that is poised for growth in Berks County, according to the Workforce Development Board and some of the other data research that we're getting.
Yep. We've heard that too, and they're excited about that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that we're sort of poised. We've got lots of opportunity, I think, in Berks County to grow more, and to sort of let the world know that we're here, because we're not as landlocked as some other counties are in terms of everything's sort of been developed out. So, what made you decide to join the chamber?
The networking opportunities and getting our name out there and really promoting Irish Creek. I like to joke that he's HR, I'm project management and business development. So I suggested joining the chamber this year, and I'm glad we're new members this year. It's been great going to networking events. We've thoroughly enjoyed it.
That's great.
It was
That's
an
great.
easy sell.
It was an easy sell.
It was. It was one of those things on the list of things that you never quite get accomplished, but you need to do it.
Oh, that's
And
great to
somehow
hear.
that list never gets shorter.
Well,
but-
because you wake up in the morning and you know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to work till
Yep.
dawn to dusk,
Right.
really.
Yep.
And
Pretty much.
And
in the
along
business.
with the excavating, Dave's always done general construction work, just never really advertised for it. So we're expanding on those services now, and we've opened up a general construction division.
I wanted
So-
to mention that because we kind of got off task on some of the other things that we were talking about. So tell me a little bit about that.
So like I said, it runs under the same name, Irish Creek Excavating, but we do have a general construction division. We can do completely new from the ground up buildings, or we can do commercial fit outs, residential renovations. We're actually doing a small bathroom renovation now for just our residents in Shillington. And just yesterday we were awarded a commercial fit out over in Muhlenberg Township, so we're very excited about that.
Excellent, excellent. So you never stop growing and learning
No.
about things
Not
that
at all.
might be. Now you also started in 2013 a service center, and what made that come about?
Well, I started out. We have a 7,000 square foot shop that we work out of, and I had a subtenant in there that we lost, and we needed to fill that space, and we were having some trouble finding somebody qualified to come in and work with our people in the same space. Excuse me. So I have qualified people. I have really good guys that are really into that kind of stuff and can fix anything. And I said, you guys want to start a service center? We can, if I'll send you to school, you get all your certifications, I'll pay all the schooling. And they said, yeah, we're up for it. And we started that a few years ago, and that has doubled in size every year since we've started it.
Oh my gosh.
And we're looking to expand on that again this year, and hopefully get to adding evening hours and Saturday hours, and cater a little bit more to the general public. Right now we cater mostly to fleet customers.
Okay.
So we do a lot of for plumbing contractors. We do Morgan Rails, a lot of their vehicles. They do guide rail. Clover Farms. We do a lot of big trucks and trailers and stuff. So that's been a big help for us also. And
This
I
has
have good
been-
people in there. They do a great job.
This has been an evolution.
It is. I always believed in a little bit of diversification, and I kind of like doing a lot of different things.
Well, it absolutely is important to be doing that. You know,
Certainly keeps life interesting.
it does. It does.
It does.
Well, and it sounds like sort of this entrepreneurial spirit was sort of born in you too, I think.
I believe so. I've heard many people say that I'm a little David, so that's a running joke in the office some days.
That's, well, you know what? I think that is often so true, because when you've grown up in this world of you know, I'm gonna be doing this. I'm going sort of out on a limb sometimes. You know, you're not quite sure, but you persevere, and then you see that, and then that's really how family businesses, statistically, and you know, we have this family business alliance that we founded about 5 years ago at the chamber, particularly because we knew that sometimes family businesses, while they have all the challenges of a regular business, everything that whatever it is that you're doing, overlaying it, you've got, you know, some of the family dynamics, but family businesses tend to have more loyal employees.
Yep.
They are more profitable in the industry in which they're in because of the fact that they've got this culture of loyalty of employees, loyalty to the family name, loyalty to it's something that's integral in kind of their DNA, and that's one reason why we're saying, you know, it's really the family-owned businesses that are growing jobs and growing our economy, and so that's why it's so important.
Yeah, I think that's been a Berks County heritage for family business, and I'm a big believer in family businesses. We never planned for her to come into this company, but
Oftentimes that's the case.
I thought she would go off in the general construction world, and I'd work for her actually.
When his number was good enough.
It just kind of evolved one day, and here we are.
That is a great story. That's a great story.
And a great thing, I absolutely love joining Irish Creek because, you know, he's always dealt with customers in a certain way, almost like their family, and I've always had the same attitude. And so by coming to Irish Creek, it just gave me personally the freedom to find new customers and treat them exactly that same way. That's so great. You must be very proud.
Oh, yeah.
But and likewise, I can see this sort of you know, this mutual admiration society, if we like to say. But it's really great to have you with us today. I appreciate you coming out away from the work, coming into town, but telling your story is really, really important, because we need to have more good stories about family-owned businesses and what's really good about Berks County.
Well, thank you. We're glad to be here.
So,
Thank you for having us.
oh no, it's my pleasure.